Welcome to Hobby Talk. I am your host, Dr. Collectible, and big shout out to my sponsors, Pristine Auction, number one place to receive your sports cards and memorabilia. And as well, if you're looking to grab anything on this site, utilize the code Hobby Talk today and get $10 off your first purchase. This week episode, I have entrepreneur, sports card collector, content creator, Talon Sports Cards. We're going to dig into the life of the content creator when it comes to the hobby. And guys, I hope y'all enjoy this episode. Let's tune in. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Doc here. I am on Hobby Talk. This is the new show that we have where we have great conversations with interesting individuals. Shout out to Pristine Auctions for also being a sponsor of this show. And my today's guest, you're talking about, business, entrepreneur here, but also, I got to say, more of the content creator as well. Like, he just brings both worlds together. This right here, we have Talon Sports Cars, but as my friend, Talon. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate you. First of all, what you do for this hobby, the content that you create, the business individual that you are, and the good positivity that you put out there is needed. Um, even looking at you, I get inspiration of what you do. So just know that you got eyes on you from the far and even close up, man. So once again, yo, kudos to you and what you've been doing. Um, First of all, you've been building yourself in this hobby. I think it's something dope that you do for as content. I think it's like a different way of how you present content in the hobby. So let the people know, for us about you and how much of you is in the content for the people that have not even viewed your content yet. How much is you in the content, and how do you come up with these ideas?
Oh man. So I think just to start from the beginning
Yeah.
is I'm just having fun. I'm out here having fun, man. I don't care if cards go up, cards go down. I just want to make fun content. The reason why I'm in this hobby in the first place, or the reason why I joined it, I've been in it for a long time, growing up as a kid. And just kind of rejoined it, or at least went in heavy, during COVID, extra heavy. And this whole time it was just me wanting to show my collection. And I really had no I wasn't trying to be a content creator, an influencer. I just wanted to show my cards and, just just wanted to be around people that, were about the same thing. I had no clue the hobby was going to blow up, the way it did, but it did. And luckily for me, I was just kind of positioned in a place where, we were kind of one of the first ones to start creating certain types of content. And that really helped us grow. But I mean, this whole time that I've been posting, the very first 3 years, I wasn't making money doing it. I'm running a different business over here. Everything that I had posted was just, just for the love of the game, just loved cards, so things have kind of taken a fun, interesting turn, as it has with you, over the past probably 2 years. And, companies are starting to recognize that, content creators, do have a special place in this hobby. So it's luckily, I've been blessed to be able to kind of turn this into a business, or at least I have tried to over the past year or so. But it all comes, it all comes from just me having fun. Everybody that is on my page that I have featured, they're all my friends. All the content creators, they're all my, they're all my, everybody's good friends. And so yeah, it just comes from the love of the game. It started from my pops. Just kind of worked its way down for me, or down from him.
Nice, man. I love the fact that you say, majority of the people that, it's on your page, or the people that you come across, you either know these individuals or they're friends. So, when I look at your content, it's very genuine. And I think that also helped catapult you to where you're at today, far as in the hobby. I'll be honest, man. I know you as a good friend, first off. Before the town sports cars and things of that nature. I know you as a good individual, but also we have worked together plenty of times. Not only that, been in different type of situations, far as either business or content creating. Can you explain a little bit to the individuals that are viewing, like, as a business person, how much is it that it takes for you on a day-to-day basis, of like, how do you look at it as a business for you? Because I know for me, I know I try to do this every day. I look at it as a business as well. But for you in this hobby, you're enjoying it. But how much do you take account on taking it as a business every day?
Yeah, so I think I've always been a businessman. You know, I started my first business when I was 18 years old, 18, 19 years old, in a whole different industry in fishing tackle. And
Mm,
that was my, original passion was fishing and, jumped into this. But all I know is marketing. All I know is business. That's
mm,
what I know, and when I first started the company back in the day, it was, if I had no money. I mean, I was raised, middle class, but I didn't have money to start a business when I was 18. So I
yeah,
found ways, to find advertising and marketing dollars, and it was through guerrilla marketing, doing certain things that cost me no money, but it would still allow me to kind of compete with these big guys.
yep,
So little things like that. Like I had to learn when I first started that business. I had to learn a little bit of everything. I learned how to, create websites. I had to learn how to do marketing. I had to learn how to Photoshop. I don't even think Photoshop was a thing back then, which it wasn't. But I had to learn every single task or operational task of a business, myself. And as I
mm,
learned how to do everything as a one man show, I learned that my passion was marketing. Of course, business, but also marketing.
marketing.
And that I think that was my strength my entire life, and it was just because it was a passion. So I think with the to kind of answer your question on the sports card side of things is it's just natural to me to think of everything as a business. Everything that I do is
Mm,
business related, or just the way I think, is focused around a business. So, like, I do say I'm having fun, which I am. I'm having the most fun I've ever had in my life doing anything. I don't care what it is. I get to wake up to talk sports cards,
yeah,
but at the same time, as I'm doing these things and as I'm having fun, I'm trying to relate it to, okay, how is this helping me as a business grow? On the marketing side of things? How is this, on the guerrilla marketing side of things? How is this going to position me later down the line to compete with these big guys?
yes,
And I just haven't gotten in because I still own my other business and I still need to sell it, which I'm planning on doing just so I could, 100% focus on Talon. When that happens and I could actually turn this into a business, it'll be extra fun. Now I have two passions. I have my just the love of cards, and I get to include the business side of things as well. So I guess daily operations on the sports card side of things is I'm editing 3 hours a day. I'm literally
yeah,
editing 3 to 4 hours a day. I should I hire someone to do it? Of course I should, but I feel like if I do that, it's not going to have my little twists and turns that I like. That kind of just make me me. So I've decided to hold on to that task for now. But at the same time, is how could I incorporate companies and sponsors into my content, which is what I've really been doing lately.
yeah,
I would say for the past year. So we've brought on quite a few sponsors and partners that they like my work and I love their work. I only work with companies that I like, that I
yeah,
believe in.
yeah,
I won't work with anybody that if I don't use the product, I'm not doing it. I'm not working with them respectfully,
yeah.
But luckily, we've partnered with Ultra Pro. We did eBay, and we were working. We were eBay partners, me and you, in the past.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that plays out in the future. But Sports Wax Promotions is a good one for me. Pristine Auctions, of course, Arena
Yes,
Club. They're a good one. And we're also going to be working with PSA, which is going to be. I'll be announcing that in a few days. So I'm really stoked for that. But yeah, the business side of things is just as much fun as the hobby fun side. So
I love that. I do take into account on what you say about content. Um, I edit all my content. Usually, I might have a few. Recently, for the National and Fanatic Fest, I had someone record me for the first time. Besides, like my guy Bando. But really, I had someone putting their eyes on me the whole time, and I see the difference of that. But going back between me and you, doing our content, but also editing the content, is almost like you have to fall in love with the process.
you
Um,
do.
and I think for you, you bring it in pretty good when it comes to your content continuously being genuine, but also knowing that. the businesses out there are looking for your audience, the people that you cater to on a daily basis. So I give you kudos to that. Now, also, I've seen that as a businessman in this hobby, um, I've also seen you work with car shows.
Hmm.
That's a route I even took as well. Like, can you elaborate on how it is working with the car shows and just being a content creator in that standpoint for the hobby?
Yeah, so filming for car shows has been pretty unique for me. So
Hmm.
I filmed for many of the major ones, the national. Typically, either I'll get hired by the card show itself, to create
Yeah.
content for them, or I'll have sponsors, like Pristine Auction sponsored my Fanatics Fest, tour. So it just depends, who wants to bring me on board and what kind of content they want, but the route of the filming card shows, whether or not I'll be doing that in a year, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Just because I've kind of gone some alternate routes, which has been
Hmm.
it's just been extra, it's been just as fun. Um, but what the media side of things, filming for card shows has allowed me to do it allowed me to get content out there, and make money at the same time. So what I promised what I promised the shows is I'm going to create you X amount of content for the show. This is the style I'm going to do. This is who I'm going to do it with, and it allows me to have X amount of videos get pumped on my feed and get paid for it at the same time.
Mm.
Which is it's almost like a hack. Like, I'm going to be doing content anyways, so why not get paid for it? So
Right.
what I originally was doing is, that's how I made my money. When I first started Talent, pretty much is I just filmed for shows, and I'm
Hmm.
still doing it. I think I'm averaging like 2 to 3 shows every single month. More so now, about two, but I'll be scaling down on that side a little bit. But I first started because I saw what it would do on the marketing side of things, teaming
Hmm.
up with certain people, and getting paid to do it. So that's kind of my life on that side of things, which is pretty interesting. But I did it for the content, and I'm still doing it for the content. I love card show content. And it also allows me to, not be inside of my house and create content. You have a backdrop, you can only make it so cool, like, people don't want to see. Sadly, they don't want to see me talk in front of a backdrop, even though I paid a lot of money for everything behind me. They want to see you at card shows. They want to see you live in the field. They want to see you negotiating. And
Yeah.
I haven't really even gotten to that side of things, but I would like to. But what I've learned on the social side of things is, like, how many different avenues or routes can you make your content, so it's not the same, so it's not consistently the same, every single video that you do. So filming for the card shows allowed me to be a little different and actually get me into the field, live with everybody. So yeah, I think that just on the content side of things is, I think I recommend that, to content creators out there, if they're looking to really get into things, is just go to shows and create content for them, even if you got to do it free. I paid my dues in the beginning,
Yeah.
several years back with certain people. I paid my dues, but at the same time, it allowed me to showcase what I could do, for them. And, ever since, just kind of turned into a business, on the filming side for them, on the media side. But
Mm.
I think where most of this stems from is because I still own my other business. I'm only capable of doing so much and spending so much time on talent at the moment, um, until I sell it. So the filming for card shows, it was cool because it takes me one day. I literally film everything in one day at these card shows, and then I just create the content, and edit throughout the week. So it doesn't take up a lot of my time. I get a lot of content out of
Yeah.
it, and that's kind of the route that I originally took, which is going to start dwindling down, as this turns into more of a business, just because I'll have, other avenues that I'll be chasing. But that's where I started, and I'll always have a heart for that.
For my pristine auction item of the week, we have a Michael Jordan signed Sports Illustrated magazine from 1983. This right here, he is in this North Carolina outfit, jersey and all, everyone. This right here, we know Mike don't sign much. So to get your hands on an item like this from 1983, where his career was just starting to blossom with North Carolina, and as well, if I'm not mistaken, he won the championship as well. So if you're looking to get your hands on that Jordan item, make sure you check out Pristine Auctions, and as well utilize that call Hobby Talk to get $10 off your first purchase. Let's get back into this interview. Nice. So I'm glad you was able to break that down very well to the audience because I wanted to get the business side out of you first and get into people know because a lot of people wonder, as far as like content creators like ourselves, what are we doing? How do we start off? It's not easy getting to this point where you're able to get to the point where you are. So that's why I give you your flowers, but also the way you've been able to take that route and daring to be different. I give you flowers for that too because a lot of people don't dare to be different. I see a lot of the same content a lot of times, and there's nothing wrong with that. But also, you want to appeal to the people that's not only in the hobby but able to bring new people in as well with great content. So now I want to steer. We're gonna go left field a little bit. We're gonna get to more into what we do as far as with collecting. Now we got the
Mhm.
business portion out the way. So with you, what is talent collecting these days?
That's what I've always collected. I've always collected '90s inserts, typically numbered inserts of players like Ken Griffey Jr., Frank Thomas, Cal Ripken Jr. is one of my PCs, but Michael Jordan's my big one. And
Mm,
I don't. I need to start showcasing my collection a little bit more. Which I plan on start doing that because I'm gonna start going on the other side and start selling as a dealer. So you'll see kind of what I've collected over the years,
mm,
and start selling and grading, some of that PC. But that's really what I've always collected. It's where my heart is. Do I like modern cards? Yeah, I like them. Do I open them? Yeah, I open them too. Do I know I'm going to lose my ass opening boxes of modern cards? Yeah, I know I'm going to lose every time, but I do it for
yeah,
the content. That's and my girlfriend, she just got into cards, so she's always wanting to rip too. So I will rip and I will chase Wembenyama and I will chase the hottest rookies and everything, but I kind of go into that like knowing that I'm probably not going to get any money back. If I do, it's just a perk. But my heart is in those '90s inserts, and like I don't know if you can see in my backdrop, but I probably
yeah,
have out of all these, they're all different sets, just from things that I collected. And people will see my backdrop, and I get asked this all the time, like, oh, he just collects Dream Team cards and Diamond King cards and Barcelona cards that aren't worth very much. I'll tell you, there's probably $40 in all these little boxes right here, probably 40, 50, $60. But I'll tell you
hmm,
one thing, they make me the happiest out of every single card that I possibly have in all my collection. These cards right here, the simple cards that we pulled in the '90s growing up, those Dream Teams and Diamond Kings, those were the chase from Don
yep,
Russ. At least the Diamond Kings were. And every time I pulled one with the gold foil, like the gold foil is different back in the day. It hit different. So like I see these things, and this is what makes me happy, and this is why I chose to stick it back there. Like, could I have chosen to stick any of my big slabs that I have back there? Coulda. Does that make me happy? It does not whatsoever. So this is who I
bingo.
am, man. It's not so much like what I collect as far as like the good cards, the good slabs that I collect. They're all graded and numbered and whatnot, but like this is a representation of me. Everything that I have in my backdrop. So to answer your question, yes, I collected everything during the '90s because that's where my heart is, and that's what I remember growing up. Collecting with my pops.
Love it, man. That when you speak on Diamond Kings, that remind me of me and my father. When my father started passing down cards to me and things of that nature, it was the Diamond Kings, and majority of the time, if it was a hitter, my dad loved the Mark McGuire. He
Yeah.
loves that card, the Mark McGuire. I believe he's in the A's jersey, if I'm not mistaken, in the Diamond Kings. But you got he loves pictures. So I got all these cards, and it's like they look like drawings of like portraits or something of that nature, and it's just a dope look. Um, my dad like gave me half of his collection. He still got like the other half of his. So it's like I keep half of them cards. Once again, I know they're probably not gonna sell for a lot, but what does it do for me? It makes me happy. So with that being said, I have to agree on that standpoint. Now I want to get into a little bit more with collecting. Now you say that you're into the '90s. Are you collecting anything outside of sports cards? Because for me, collecting is just not, sports cards. So, I want to ask, like, do you collect coins? Are you into video games? Or are you into little knickknacks here and there? I know people that collect Coca-Cola bottles. So for me, what does Talon also collect outside of sports cards?
So my pops has always, and I bring him up because I take after him, as you know, as most people do. They take after their parents or
Yes,
what they were brought up
sir.
around. So cards for me have always been my passion because I was raised around it. You know, as a
Yeah.
kid, I was raised around it. My parents on dates, I may have told you, but my parents on dates before I was born, they used to open up cases of 1985 tops. That
Mm,
was their date night. They would literally open cases and cases and boxes of that stuff. You know, Jason McGuire rookie card, the Olympic
mhm.
card, and so I mean that's what I was brought up around. And my pops also collected coins as well and currency. So he would, you know, he still does it, but he'll get, you know, big buckets of pennies or dollar bills, and he'll just start looking for little things like double stamps or double, I forgot what they call them, but just little things in currency that like set them apart and make them different. It's almost like they're inserts for coins, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would say the younger generation really isn't into the currency side of things, but I do
Right.
have appreciation for that. Do I collect it? No, but if I get, you know, some money in, some dollar bills in, am I looking at the numbers to see if there's any, you know, any matching numbers or specific numbers or low numbers? I am. I do look at all that stuff. But
Same.
I think like as far as collecting goes, I really don't collect much aside from sports cards. But what
Hmm.
I do like is I'm really into garage sales. I'm really into
Ah,
auctions. I'm really into things um, that I could flip and make some money, you know? And it's not about
yeah.
making the money, but it's about finding a treasure. And, you know, I used to go to an auction out when I lived in California. I'm in Vegas now. But I used to every single Wednesday, I would go to an auction house and I would spend several hours there. I'd go 2 hours early, you know, with my little microscope and all this stuff, or magnifying glass, my flashlight, like looking at all of the items, trying to find some treasure of what they're going to be auctioning off in a couple hours. So
Right.
I think there's a similarity between the two of, you know, my hobbies is going to these auctions and trying to find the hidden treasures. You know, just like when you open a box, you're trying to find that treasure. You're on a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
You know, trying to find that big insert, trying to find that one of one. It's the same thing in the wild when you're at an auction. You know, you're trying to find that one of one. And then the perk of it is, you know, you could typically sell things, you know, and try to make double your money or whatever it is. And that's my little treasure. So aside from sports cards, I do like that thing, just hunting for treasures, you know, no matter what hobby it is. But garage sales is really fun, and auctions are, I just love them to death.
So I guess you could say we are a whole bunch of pirates in the hobby. Ahoy,
We are.
mateys! Like I don't know. I'm not gonna go that far. Just playing, but I know I feel that I feel on what you're saying. Like we're looking for that buried treasure that's somewhere around there that can either make you X amount of money, that could
Hmm.
possibly make you just happy, that make you feel like a kid again. You might be looking for that video game, that sports card, whatever it is. And I love how you explain your mother and father as well, and how it kind of just like it breaks down into what you do. Coins is something big for me as well. My grandfather collected coins. He was in the military, so collect all type of currency. Come back to the house, I'm like, wow, this is what he brought back from overseas. So to be able to have that and better you to tell the memories, that brings me back to my childhood somewhat. And go a little bit further. I want to know the future of Talon Sports Cars. What is the future for you? You don't have to give me nothing specifically on what you're doing, but
Hmm.
I do want you to break down to the people where are you at now mentally in the hobby, and what do you see for yourself in the rest of 2024, and what could we be surprised for in 2025 from you?
Oh, geez. So
I know I
I
dug in
guess
deep.
yeah, there was a lot of questions there. I think the future is you're gonna start seeing more of the business side of things, which I
Okay.
haven't jumped into yet. I've kind of just been focused on creating a community for Talon, and you know, just building a happy community of people, like-minded people. You know, I've concentrated on building that for the past several years without bringing in products and without, you know, really promoting certain things. because I know that, when I do start promoting things, that community is gonna what makes that brand flourish.
Yes.
So you'll start seeing more of the product brands in the future, or at least certain partnerships or just certain things that we're going to be getting our hands into. But you're going to start seeing more of the business side of things. You're still going to see the content. The content's all going to be the same. Hopefully, it's going to be escalated. Hopefully, the content will get better and better as we go. But you're going to see, more of the business side of things. Um, I think you asked about the mental state, of being in the hobby.
Yeah.
Um,
What's your
so I,
mental
I think.
state? And for the audience, when I say this, I mean by his mental state is that you have so much going on your plate as just the content creator, the businessman, but also looking forward. I'm pretty sure you might be a one man band, right?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
something that I deal with on a daily basis. So that's why I wanted you to kind of elaborate on that on the mental standpoint. Is it stressful for you? How is it right now?
Yeah, so I think luckily, the sports car side of things, it makes me happy. Whatever I'm dealing with, I'm doing it happily. Whether or not I'm editing
Yes.
for 5 hours or I'm working on business deals, chatting with people, it's just straight happiness. Like I've mentioned, that's why I'm in this business. Now the other side of things is, I'm still running that other business that I have, and until I sell
True.
that, I have no time on my plate. I'm working 12, 15 hours a day. And that's the stuff you don't see. Like I'm doing all this stuff on the talent side, but I'm also doing the same stuff more plus more on the other side of things with the other business that I've had for 20 years. So I guess it's just the grind, but I think why it works for me is I like the grind. It's what I've
Yeah.
it's what I've known. I've known nothing but working those 15 hours a day and doing what it takes, to take certain things to the next level. And every time I have an idea, it's not like I got to work. I create that idea and I'm having fun doing it. Whether or not that's typical work or not.
Yes.
Most of the time, like as of now, it's like I have a video that I want to create, and I'll just spend 5, 6 hours. Whether or not it's successful, I have no idea, but I'll do it. And I'll be perfectly happy doing it. But yeah, I have no free time. But I still try to make it. I still try to find little hobbies and do certain things there. But I think I'm fine on the mental aspect as far as time goes. And what's on
Hmm.
my plate because I'm used to it. I am a one man band, more or less.
Yeah.
I'm a one man band at the moment. As I start turning this into a business, I need employees. I need to turn it into an actual business because you have to start delegating and not just doing everything yourself. I need an editor to free up those 3 to 4 hours I'm spending every single day, so I can concentrate on other things and growing other things. So like that'll all come, I would say over the next like year and a half. I'm in no rush to do it, but it will happen, and you'll start seeing like little things here and there. So yeah, I guess that's just on the future side of things. But when you say the mental side, it's kind of interesting because as a content creator, I never wanted that title. I never wanted to be called an influencer, and
Exactly. Exactly.
but I am. I understand I am 100%. I'm an influencer, right? But I never asked for that. I
Bingo.
positioned myself for that, and but because I know that that's just part of what I'm doing, I am an influencer. I am a content creator. I just on the mental side, it's sometimes I don't like being lumped with that term as a whole. Because I think there's just different types of creators and different types of influencers. Some are good, some are bad. Some are good for the hobby, some I don't like. Some, just there's a million different types. So it's like when people, try to lump us up as all we're in it for the money. I mean, we're all in it to make. No matter what you do, like as work, like you're trying to make money, right?
Yeah.
But
Make a
like,
living.
yeah, make a living out of it. But like, some people are just a lot more greedy than others, as in our space. So being lumped in with them, by certain people, I kind of just get like, oh man, like really, like you don't see all the content that we're doing, all the positive content that we're doing. You want to lump us up with these people, so like on the
Yeah.
mental state, like that does get to you. I've been in social media forever, so I understand the comments, I understand, the hate comments, and you're gonna get it daily, from different types of people, and like I'm okay with it, it doesn't bother me, but yeah, if it did bother me, that would be, the mental, kind of on the mental side of holy crap, like I'm trying to do all this stuff and do all this positive work, and then I'm getting nailed by some of these people. It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
So mental aspect, you got to be a tough person in this industry to be a content creator. So I'm sure you deal with it all the time.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because there are kids, adults, people like me that want to know these things, how another individual is feeling, especially if it's someone that's trying to be in our place,
Hmm.
or if it's someone that's already in our place. It might be someone that thinks just like us in a different aspect. So I'm glad you explained that, um, what you broke down on who you are for what you are right now for yourself, going into 2024 and ending it off, and also getting into the mental aspect of being a content creator. When I first announced you as, like, I want you to come off to the people as an entrepreneur and content creator. But not only that, at the end of the day, when people watch this, I want people to know that you are a collector, that you are in it for the love of this hobby. Because not only that, I know you personally, brother, and I wanted you to come on this show because I know you will be able to break them layers off and let the people know, what it is, and being honest. So, Talon, I really do appreciate you hopping on. Once again, guys, it's a great friend of mine. Let them know where they can find you.
Well, I first off, I appreciate all the kind words, and right back at you. You're one of the the guys that I respect in this industry. And I've seen the hard work that you put into it. Since day one, since I first met you, and yeah. So I mean, congratulations on your success. This is gonna be huge for you. I can't wait to see the other guys that you have on, on here,
Thanks.
which is gonna be exciting. I'm gonna tune into every single show that you do.
Turn
Um,
up, man.
yeah, man. But I'll see you at the top. If you guys
Yes,
want to follow
sir.
me, my Instagram is Talon_sports cards. I post daily. I post daily things that make me happy. And that's sports cards. So yeah, if I'm not smiling, something's wrong with me. If I'm in distress, it's
Boy.
probably my girl's still in my cards. So I'll blink twice if I am in distress. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that does follow us, and yeah, man, I appreciate everything. I appreciate the opportunity for being on here.
Nah, thank you. One thing you always leave me off with is, hey, I'm gonna see you at the top. When people, and I want people to understand this before I end this, it's competitive nature amongst us as peers knowing each other. Like, I know the work that he puts in, he know the work that I put in. So having that competitive nature, I think, is great for this space. Not only that, it's sports. Like, sports is competitive. So for me, man, yeah, bro, I want to see you at the top, man. So, I appreciate everything that you do for this hobby. Once again, I hope all the viewers make sure you tune in to who Talon is. Check out his social media. And I don't know, any last words before we end this? Feel free. You got the floor, brother.
I mean, just on that note, it's natural to be competitive. I'm very competitive. You're very competitive. Um, I sometimes I like to. Well, I see things a bit different
Yeah.
when it comes down to success. And
Yeah.
I want to see you succeed. You're killing it, right? I want to see every content creator, if I believe in what they do, I want to see them succeed. And if
Same.
they're doing better than me, which there's a lot doing better than me, I want to work with them. We're
Yes.
the way that we're gonna all, the people that are gonna hit the top first, we're gonna be doing it side by side,
Circle of
and we're gonna be a
success.
team doing it. So we're all gonna fly together. It's just a lot of well, I guess I would assume that the positions of some other people, they're more on the competitive side of things, and it's like they see each other as a competitor. Like, oh, I don't want him to have 1 million views. Oh, I'm jealous of this. Like, dude, put all that to the side. You do a great job, I do a great job, let's all work together.
Thank you.
So that's when I say see you at the top. It's with you, it's with all these, all
Mhm.
the good guys in the hobby. So hopefully we could all do it together, and we could all sit on the beach with a margarita, and just
Yes,
enjoy life,
sir.
opening up boxes of cards. So I mean, that's the goal, and I would like to see all of us there together.
Nah, thank you, man. Appreciate everyone tuning in. It's your boy, the Doc. This has been Hobby Talk. Shout out to Pristine Auctions. We are out. All right, everyone. That's it for this week episode. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Don't forget to check out Pristine Auctions, number one place to receive your sports cards and memorabilia. It's your boy, the Doc. I am your host, and I'm out.